Hey everyone, welcome back to AI for Dinosaurs. In the last video, we talked about creating personalized instructions for ChatGPT. Today, we're going to take a step back and look at how AI works. Understanding this will help you create better prompts in the future. So, let's get started. First, what is AI? Artificial intelligence, or AI, aims to create machines that can perform tasks that usually require human intelligence. This includes learning from data, recognizing patterns, and making decisions. At least, this is where we are today, no telling where we might go in the future. Now, let's talk about how AI, specifically large language models like ChatGPT, are trained. These models are fed a bunch of text from books, articles, websites, and more. They learn the patterns in this data. Think of it kind of like stars in the sky. You can see them as individual stars, but there are also patterns, constellations like the Big Dipper, Orion, Cassiopeia, etc. The connections are what we humans understand, how we can recognize them, because individual stars are kind of meaningless unless you are an astronomer. The human brain is a lot like this. It has nodes that relate to one another, and the connections between the nodes are how we make sense of everything. This system is called a neural network, and the way it works is it deciphers patterns. The magic is in the connections. So, believe it or not, we are all pretty used to having a computer use this system, albeit on a much smaller scale. It's like a super advanced version of autocomplete or Siri. You know how your phone sometimes suggests the next word when you're texting? Well, ChatGPT does this on a much larger and more sophisticated scale, but it can still trip up sometimes. But Siri does as well. I mean, I never text about ducks, but whatever. Here's how it works. When you ask ChatGPT a question, it processes your input, analyzes the patterns it has learned, and predicts the most likely next words to form a coherent response. It doesn't understand meaning like humans do, but it's incredibly good at mimicking human-like text based on its training data. In other words, the connections that are usually made between words or sentences. The thing is, you have to set the scene, so to speak, put in context, for it to make all the connections. Context is everything. Think of building context into a prompt like preparing a sandwich for a really picky eater. If you just slap on some bread and a slice of cheese, they're going to give you a look like you just insulted their entire family. But if you take the time to layer on the lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, mustard, and that special sauce they love, suddenly they're thrilled. In the world of AI, the neural network is that picky eater. If you just give it a vague prompt, it's going to give you a bland, generic answer. But if you build context, adding all the details and specifics, it'll give you a response that's way more satisfying and flavorful. So, when you're crafting a prompt, think like a gourmet chef, not a fast food worker. Serve up a 5-star question and get a 5-star answer. In the next video, we'll dive into crafting effective prompts. With the knowledge you've gained today, you'll be ready to ask ChatGPT questions in a way that gets you the best possible answers. You'll find a link to my basic AI playlist in the comments section. These are really basic videos because we all have to start somewhere. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. See you next time.